What's going on, y'all? It's Gum TCG here, back again with another regional recap. And I want to shout out Eggman Events for posting this information. I'll have a link down in the description to Eggman Events website where you can take a look at all this breakdown, all the topping deck lists and everything. Today, I just wanted to highlight SAKAZUKI's last regional. You know, this is the last one where he's legal to play. Same with Reject and Great Eruption. So next weekend, I believe we have a in-person regional or Treasure Cup. I can't remember which one, but I believe it's in Dallas, and there's also an online one, and it's going to be a very interesting format. I'm super excited to see what kind of decks are going to take up the top cut and what kind of decks are going to make up the representation, because I have a feeling it's going to be pretty damn diverse. And it's not 07 legal, it's just without Saka, Enel, or not Enel, Saka, Reject, and Great Eruption. So going to be super interesting to see that. I do have a feeling Law is going to take up a large majority of the pie chart here, but that's for another video. Stay tuned for that one next week. If you didn't check out last week's breakdown, go check it out above my head here or in the link in the description below. But yeah, let's just go ahead and dive into this. Huh? You still aren't using Dueling Guard? Then you aren't using the best TCG accessories on the market. Dueling Guard makes the highest quality TCG deck boxes with the most stunning artwork I've ever seen. Their modular design allows for easy access to your decks and dice. They don't just make deck boxes, they also make the highest quality binders with side-loading pages to keep your expensive cards safe and protected. They also make high-quality playmats and now even sleeves. I personally use their sleeves on all of my cards and cannot go back to another sleeve after I've been using theirs. They are grippy and slick when you need them to be, and I have no doubts that my cards are protected in them. Gear up with Dueling Guard to protect your cards in style. Don't forget to use code GUMGUMTCG to get a discount at checkout. We had quite a bit of Moria show up at this again, and same with Law, same with Sakazuki. Of course, our top 3 favorite removal decks at the top of the breakdown again, taking up more than half of the entire representation of the tournament. And this was about 1,000 players, 997 to be exact. It was on Saturday the 15th, and yeah, Moria took up 190 slots. Law was 180. Saka was 161. Surprising, Old Man couldn't take up the biggest chunk of his last tournament. I guess people are just on these other decks. They want that just 5 life leader in Moria and extra power, extra pushes. And same with Law, just some extra power and pushes when Saka still is very, very powerful. People just chose to play these other removal decks. We had 85 NL, which is kind of, I wouldn't say surprising or shocking or anything, but it's surprising how little made it into top cut. And then we had 80 Edward Newgate. People just want to see Whitebeard win and will never let the old man die. So we also had 55 Monkey D. Luffy from the new Three Brothers starter deck, which I did think this representation would be a little bit bigger, but not by much, but maybe more than Enel and Newgate. However, you can always get taken by surprise in these events. We had 35 Cats, which I won't say I like to see it, but the last breakdown we looked at, the cat representation was so small it was grouped in with the other decks. So definitely still cool to see. We had 35 Uta, we had 35 Yamato, so those were split evenly. We had 22 Nami. People showed up with Nami at this event and tried to show out. We had 19 Perona as well, which is pretty interesting. Then we had 18 Red Purple Luffy, which is awesome. We have a couple different decks that we're going to take a look at here in a minute, and that's going to be one of them. And then we had 11 Doflamingo, Blue Dofi. People really trying to bring Blue Dofi out the woodwork before the new 07 support, and I definitely applaud you for that, and I think we'll seeing a lot more representation of him at these events once that 07 Warlord support comes out. But that's not what you're here for. You're here for the top 32, the top breakdown, and of course we had 12 Gecko Moria, we had 9 Sakazuki. I mean, taking up more than half of the room is Saka and Moria once again, and we had 3 Monkey D. Luffy's. We had 3 Laws, which is, I'm pretty sure, super similar to the last breakdown we did. The Law and Luffy were both split. And then we had 1 Cat, 1 Yamato, 1 Newgate, 1 Red Purple Luffy, and 1 Enel. So a little more diverse top cut here, but still largely dominated by these removal decks. And yeah, I'm excited to see what 07 format holds for us. This is going to be a little bit of a quicker video. There's not too much to talk about. I kind of said everything I wanted to in the last video, so make sure to go check that out. But super excited to see next weekend's breakdown and what kind of decks are going to be able to compete in that banned area. So let's go ahead and take a look at the winning list. And would you believe me if I said that Saka won his own last tournament? That's right. And here it is. All of his glory, all of the blue and black cards. And yeah, let's just break down this deck list a little. It looks like a pretty typical Saka list. They are on the Brooks, though, and they are on the Gion tech for the Namis. And yeah, the 4 Suru, 4 Tashigi, 3 brand new, 2 Helmeppos, 2 Brooks. Like I said, a lot of people were starting to tech this into Sakazuki. I've seen it in some Moria lists as well, just being another nice body to play. In both of these decks, you know, being able to minus cost and pop something is pretty dang good. Also a small body, you can bring it off of Moria, so pretty good card there. Pretty sure you can add it back off of Rebecca as well, so nice card there, nice card. And then they were on 3 Hinas, 4 Rebeccas, of course, the 1 Gion. This is your nice Nami tech. Then we had 3 Kuzans. I feel like Kuzan has starting to take a falling off right next to Porcelino, but this has proven me wrong. Definitely a good card, and I love this card. You know, I'm not saying it's a bad card or anything, but a lot of lists were starting to run less of it, in my opinion. But 3 of it, like to see it. And then we had 3 Luccis, 3 T-Bones instead of 4. You know, some of these other 2Ks are just a little bit better, but actually, T-Bone and Suru are the only 2Ks they're on in this deck, which is, I guess, not surprising. Sokka's just so powerful, they don't need too much defense. They do play all these Rebeccas and Sabos, but they're only on the 2 Sabo, and 4 Moria, of course, 4 Great Eruption, 2 Ice Age, 2 Murakamo Blades, and 4 Hound Blazes, of course. You know, like I said, kind of standard Sokka list. This is pretty typical what you're going to see, and yeah. Congrats to you for winning this last event with Sokka. Next, we had Cat. I believe this is the 2nd place list. Yep, 2nd place Katakuri. And like I said in the last video, we did not see Cat in the top cut, I don't believe. No, we had 1 Cat, and I think they got 10th place. But Cat got 10th, or 2nd this time. And I mean, looks like your pretty cookie cutter Cat list, you know, all the 2Ks, all the Big Mom Pirates. They are on the Neko Mamushi, though, which is pretty good. If you don't know what this card does, it lets you attack active characters and has the trigger to play itself, so pretty good there. Definitely like that a lot. They are also on the Thunderbolt. I feel like we're going to start seeing a rise of Thunderbolt again. You know, Thunderbolt and Nami just being able to trigger out of life to KO stuff is really powerful, but shockingly, they're only on the 1 Onami. You know, this card's really, really strong and able to KO a lot of things in the game right now. But sometimes you just don't need that. Sometimes you just want to plop it on the field and give your leader or something banish, you know. They are on these 7 moms, but they are not on any 8 cats. They're not on any Katakuris. So that's about all we got on this list. Of course, they're on the 2 reject as well. And then I believe this is the 3rd place Moria list. And yeah, looks like a Moria list. You know, there's not too much to talk about here. They're not on the Kuzans like I was talking about a minute ago, but they are on Porcelinos, and I feel like Moria's always run at least 1 to 2 Porcelinos, maybe more if you want, but yeah, not seeing Kuzans in here, I think is a little funky, but they're also not on 4 Ice Age. A lot of lists I had been seeing were on 4 Ice Age, and I mean, not saying there's anything wrong with only 2 Ice Age. You don't need it every single turn of the game, but against some of these other decks that are playing high bodies, you definitely want to have it in your hand. And then we have the, I believe, 10th place, 11th place Yamato list, which is awesome. Really cool to see. But this list looks short. It looks like it's short on cards. No, I guess not. Not short on cards, just not playing a wide variety of cards. They're on the Sugars, which is pretty interesting. You know, you can just plop this on the field and rest something. Then you, of course, have your Shura Searchers for your Ohms, Holies, Satori's, Elthors, Disappears, and Amarus. So searches quite a bit of the deck there. And then we have, of course, you got to play your Onamis. The give your leader banish or trigger out of life is crazy. You got to play your Izos to rest as well. I think they're on these Sugars just to have basically 4 more copies of Ezo that they could use that aren't a 2K and 3 cost as well. So pretty cool to see. Then they are on the Holy package. They are on the Satoris. They are on 4 of the Rush Ace. This card's phenomenal in yellow decks. They are on the 4 Hody Jones as well. Definitely a game ender card. And then what I think is interesting is the El Thor and the Punk Gibson. Definitely cool to see some more defensive cards in the Yamato list. A lot of them are very aggressive and trying to kill your opponent very fast. You know, we didn't see a lot of the Fortress builds topping here like they did in the OCG, but yeah, very cool to see this awesome Yamato list pop out in 11th place. And then we had Red Purple Luffy, which was 19th place. So definitely awesome to see this. This is one of my favorite leaders. I love playing this leader, and I'm excited to play with it more down the line. You know, we get a lot of really cool cards for this. Anything generic purple ramping is really good for this leader, and same with red. Anything red generic is pretty good for this leader as well. But looks pretty standard. The one thing I'm noticing that I haven't seen in a list before, and maybe I just haven't been paying enough attention to Red Purple Luffy list, but the 10 cost Shanks. This card's awesome, and really sick to see it finally getting some play in a deck list. KO's a 10k or less, which is crazy, you know. I think we don't really have power reducers in here other than Jinbei, but yeah, that Shanks is pretty sweet. You can pop some big bodies with it. Throw the Namis, the Robins, the Jinbeis, the Usohachi, Zorojuros on the 4 Bon Clay. You got to play it. 2 of the Hand Rip Law, 4 Furnosuke's, 4 Queens, 2 Kings. Definitely like King in this deck as well, just being able to remove something on curve and then be able to get to your 8th Dawn the next turn and ramp with your Luffy, play your Newgate, stuff like that. 3 Kids, this card's insane with this leader, and then of course Newgate is also insane with this leader, and I think that this deck is also the best deck to take advantage of the Gear 5 Monkey D. Luffy. Might just be the best deck to take advantage of 10-drop Shanks as well. Then, of course, you got your Gatlings. You got to play Diable Jambe. Get those big hits in with your Gear 5 Luffy or your leader that cannot be blocked. And then your 4 Rad Beams. Love this leader. Definitely should try this list out, and I think I might. And then finally, we had Enel. This was the only Enel in Top Cut, and they got 22nd place. And off the bat, I'm already see something interesting in here, and that's going to be this Sabo. I don't personally think this card's amazing. I don't think it's a horrible card, but yeah, for now, I think it's pretty decent, and it's awesome to see it getting some love in a deck list for once. But other than that, it does look like a pretty cut and dry NL list. You know, you're on your 2Ks, you're on your blocker, you're on your rush card, you're on your Gadatsu, you're on your big healing bodies, and then you're on your counter event and your other events. So, like I said, nothing crazy special here, but super cool to see. This is definitely one of those more defensive Enel lists instead of the rush Enels with the rush Enels and the Kami event. But get ready for Rygos, because you're going to see a lot of these coming down next set. So stay tuned for some Enel content, because I'm going to be playing it a lot in 07. But that's about all I got for y'all today. Just really wanted to talk about this, cover a couple of these deck lists that I thought were cool, and we'll be back next week with the post-ban pre-07 regional coverage. And if you like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know what you think, and I will see you all on the next one. Peace.